A24's newest movie, Death of a Unicorn, is now out. Let's talk about it. What's up, my movie people? I hope you're all doing well. Today, I'm reviewing Death of a Unicorn. Before I get into my thoughts, make sure to leave a like as it's free to do so. And as some of you may know, the last few movies I have seen in the last couple weeks have not been that good. I mean, I've seen Snow White, The All-Tone Nights, Ash, which was okay, but not anything really good. So I was really deep into the movie dumpster, but finally, we are back, as I was actually really, thrilled to see Death of the Unicorn. I was really excited, loved the trailers, and I walked out of the theater really enjoying my time with it. This one was actually a blast to me, especially since that's not what A24 is usually known for. They're usually known for like the smaller indie movies, like they started with Hereditary, lots of horror movies, everything everywhere all at once, a smaller movie. But A24, the last couple years, they're starting to branch out just a little bit more with their genres and who they're really appealing to. As last year they just had Civil War, which was kind of appealing to like action people, adults a little bit more. This year they're gonna have Warfare, which I've heard some pretty good things that just coming out in 2 weeks or so, and then Death of a Unicorn, which should cater to a big audience, as it's a lot of different genres mixed together. It's a comedy, it's a thriller, it's a monster movie, and it's a fantasy movie all in one. Now you're probably asking, what makes this movie so special? Well, to me, I have a big soft spot for satirical movies, and I know a lot of people hate like satires and all that, but I really think they're really funny. And when you add a unicorn to it, well, then that just might be the secret formula right there, because I felt like my experience with this was like I was watching Jurassic Park on acid in a good way. And I pray to God that people don't go into this movie thinking like it's a serious take on like unicorns, mythology, and all that. They do go through a little bit of mythology of like what's up with this unicorn? Why is it killing people? But it's not a serious movie. It's a complete opposite, with genres just blending together in the most odd ways possible. I don't know how they pulled it off, but they did pull it off in a really enjoyable way. Probably my favorite part about this movie was what they did with the unicorns. The unicorns have some really special features to them, and this movie, even though I do say it caters to a lot of people, some of the visual elements might not work with some. Like when Jenna Ortega's character grabs the unicorn's horn, it's like drugs. It's like seriously it's like you're on acid. I don't know how to explain it. You'd have to just go watch it for yourself. But what they do with the unicorns is they kind of just like, it shows in the trailer how they're using the unicorns like heal people. Like the unicorn blood is like healing people, and they shave little parts off the horn. And some of the characters end up using that as drugs and snorting it like cocaine or smoking it. And I thought that was extremely funny. Like this kind of ties in with another positive for me, which was the script. And sometimes when you're dealing with an A24 movie, you expect some really nice themes. But in this one, the themes are extremely brutal, and the Eat the Rich theme in this is taken in a completely literal and wild way with how it ensues throughout the runtime. The comedy aspects present, as I said, in the screenplay are really well done, as it delivers some very sharp humor that made me laugh quite a bit. I would say it's maybe my funniest film of the year, the one I laughed to the most. It's funny, the movies I think that are the funniest of the year aren't really comedies. I'd say I laughed the most at this and Mickey 17 throughout the most this year. I mean, I'm hoping for a great comedy, but sometimes just, genre bending movies have some great comedic elements to it, and this one included. Now for the ensemble, which included some great cast members, including Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega as a father-daughter duo who have like a broken relationship. In this movie, it's kind of like something that we see in a lot of other movies. Jenna Ortega's mom in the movie died, Paul Rudd's wife, and so they really have a broken relationship after that. They're both dealing with some issues with their health, but we later see they kind of get healed from the unicorn, which is fun. So this whole film kind of starts with Paul Rudd and them going to their Paul Rudd's boss's house to get like a deal made and all that. And then it hits a unicorn in this like park that they live in. And so the unicorn's almost dead, and then it kind of just starts with them just bashing the unicorn's brains in. I thought that was a great way to start the movie. That's kind of where the title card drops. And as you know, I do love a good title card drop, and I did think they were pretty great in this. Paul Rudd, though, plays a kind of unlikable dad. Jenna Ortega plays a character, we've seen her play before, but I think they're still pretty good. Then, as I said, we also had The Rich Family, with my favorites from that being Richard E. Grant. I do love some Richard E. Grant. Every single role that he does, I think he's just hilarious. He really does. He doesn't phone in anything. He just brings it all. I love when he does that. And his son in the movie, Will Poulter. Will Poulter, I think, was my favorite character in the movie. He is just a really entitled brat in this family. He's kind of smart though. This annoying rich family, sometimes they get like really on your nerves in movies, like they're really, really annoying. But in here, they're just annoying, stupid, and annoying, funny. And Will Poulter really had the most to do with that. Like his comedic timing on his lines was really great. And as I said earlier, some characters like to snort the unicorn dust, and his character is one of them. He loves him, man. Let's just say that. And I also found Anthony Carrigan from Barry, Barry's a great show. If you haven't watched it, he's great in that. He was also a huge standout as the butler in this one. He had a lot of great non-verbal reactions. Will Poulter always called him from like across the house, and he got there in like 1 second. And there's this scene where Will Poulter tells him to get like the biggest printer, and then 30 seconds later he comes back with like the biggest printer I've ever seen in my life. I was like, he has some great timing on these scenes. What makes this movie a blast from start to finish wasn't just that awesome script, but it was the horn of the unicorns that went on a complete rampage and took some people out in the most gruesome ways possible. And you might be asking, is this a scary movie? Is this a horror movie? And no, I wouldn't say that. There are some gory moments, some tense moments in there, but it's mostly played for laughs. It's mostly played in a thrilling way, as some of the kills is just kind of campy, I would say. Campy things that are like it's like over exaggerated stuff. Like one of the kills, it's not too big a spoiler, one of the kills is just a guy getting his head crushed by a unicorn's hoofs. I was like, damn, I didn't know I was signing up for this, but I'm really enjoying these kills. And especially one of the big kill scenes at the end was extremely fun to watch. Now onto my one main negative, which kind of killed the vibe a little bit, was the pacing, because even though I love the title card drop at the beginning, I found the first 30 minutes to be a little too slow for my liking, as it did drag a little bit. It worried me, but thankfully that second half really stepped it up and catered more to the comedy and gore aspects mixed together. Like, the unicorns aren't really in the first 30 minutes, kind of just explaining this family and all that, talking to them, explaining, the drama between the father and daughter. But when the unicorns show up, you just know you're gonna have a fun time. Overall, Death of a Unicorn is a nice surprise from A24, as that might be their most commercial film yet. Even though it starts a little slow, it's still a blast from start to finish, as it balances so many different genres, and the Eat the Rich theme is taken extremely literally. I also found the comedy to be extremely funny, and the gore is just the right amount of campy. And let's not forget, the MVP was 100% Will Poulter with his prestige comedic timing. I'm gonna give Death of a Unicorn a strong 7.5 out of 10. I really do recommend you guys check this one out this weekend. It's the best movie out this weekend, maybe the best movie out until like Warfare or Sinners. But if you did check it out, make sure you do leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. But I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.